Welcome, Poli Glow family. I'm Lenny, one of the owners of Poli Glow. It's so nice to see you again. We are here today to take this beautiful baby, this 1998 Ranger Reata, 19 foot long, and we're gonna transform it into a beautiful piece of artwork today for you. We're gonna show you how the Poli Glow system works. We're gonna take you through every step of the Poli Glow system, including step 1, which is the cleaning and prep phase of the process, where we take all the oxidation off and get it ready for step 2, which is the application of Poli Glow. That beautiful high gloss shine is what you want and what you're looking for. We're gonna show you how to take the oxidation off today, how to prep the boat and get it ready for the application of Poli Glow. We're gonna show you how many coats you need to apply of Poli Glow and how to do that. We're also gonna talk about how to prevent streaks today. We're gonna talk about how to deal with any issues you may encounter during the curing phase of Poli Glow. And then finally, we're gonna show you how to maintain Poli Glow. That's critical to keeping a long-lasting, beautiful shine so that you can have a gloss that's boss. The goal here is to minimize your work effort so you can spend more time doing the things you love and spend more time with your family. Join me today as we transform this beautiful baby. Welcome, Poli Glow family. I am here with Kyle today, who is the boat owner. He owns this beautiful 1998 Ranger Reata. Kyle, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
We're going to transform this boat for you today. It's going to look like a beautiful, like brand new.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah. So tell me, how old is the boat?
So it's a 1998, so it's 26 years old. We've owned it for 24 years, ever since the year 2000, so it's got some age on it.
Yeah, it does. Where would you store the boat? Would you leave it out in the elements, or would you leave it under cover?
Well, we've always had it outside, but always under cover, sometimes under tarp, but it's always been exposed to temperature differentials, some sun at times, but under a roof.
And so you brought up temperature. We are in Georgia now, which is zone 3. If you look at the climate zones, and zone 3 is pretty hot and humid down here. I mean, we're talking about high UV index, 13 plus at times, right? I mean,
absolutely. Oh yeah.
The moisture down here, the humidity is very, very high. Those are the kind of things that are going to destroy the surface of the boat and cause it to oxidize and fade and to lose its shine. So, and that's the problem you're dealing with today, right?
Yeah,
that's why
absolutely.
we're here, correct?
That's right.
So, what have you done in the past in terms of keeping up with the boat, trying to make it shine? I mean, obviously you take some pride in your boat. You want it to look beautiful,
Sure.
We always want our cars to look nice and to be clean. What have you used in the past on the boat to try and keep up with it?
Yeah, so basic standard products that you would get at any, boat place or even Walmart or general hardware stores made for fiberglass restoration.
Yeah.
So we've tried to keep the boat clean and take good care of it. But there was a point in time when the boat really was showing age and oxidation. There was a point in time I had the boat in Texas for about 10 years, actually.
Is that right?
And it had the least amount of protection there. You want to talk about sun and UV. So that was extra hot, extra, just extra bearing down on it there. But one time we did buy some products for fiberglass restoration. We really tried to redo the finish on this boat. It took a lot of effort. It didn't last very long. We did the best we could. We didn't exactly know what we were doing.
Right.
We saw some improvement, but it was a lot of work. And we noticed it wasn't long before we were looking at the same thing that we did before we had applied.
Like where you started.
That's right.
That's right. So were buffers involved in the process?
Some buffing was involved. We didn't do too much mechanically, but we did by hand some buffing, some small instruments for that. We tried to, but we weren't as confident to know exactly how to do that, and didn't know exactly what products exactly to use. We were kind of trial and error.
Yeah. So we're going to learn a little bit about that today. But also, what I hear you saying is you were buffing, you were probably applied some sort of wax or a polish.
Yeah, a sealer. Yeah,
Sealer,
after we had done applied the product for the fiberglass restoration and then tried to seal over it to protect it.
Correct. How long would you say those other products lasted?
You know, I don't know that it lasted a full year. I think we probably saw a matter of a few months, you know, maybe 6 months worth of, okay, the boat looks great.
Right.
And then by the next season, for sure, it was kind of getting back towards what we had had before.
And it can be a little bit onerous at times, thinking about, man, I put all this work effort into this boat a year ago, and now I'm right back where I started.
Right.
So what we're gonna do today is take this boat through the Poli Glow restoration process, and then we're going to hear from you at the end of it, see what you thought of it, and what whether you like the process or not.
Yeah, we're pumped. I can't wait.
All right,
let's do
it.
Awesome.
All
Thanks,
right.
lady.
You got it. So we're through step one here. We've now removed the oxidation. We've hit it with poly prep, poly ox. We've scrubbed this beautiful blue color. We're now gonna dry it with our super absorbent 550 GSM microfiber towel. You can't do this operation without it. This is highly absorbent, super strong, lasts multiple washes. Gotta get one of these. Hey guys, just wanted to share with you a tip and trick. First of all, Poli Glow is a water-based system. So if you have a little bit of water on the boat and you can apply Poli Glow over that, some drops, it's not gonna hurt it. But if you have water dripping off the boat, you don't want to apply it, because as you apply Poli Glow, the water is just gonna pull it right off. So one tip is take a blower and just blow all the heavy water off of the boat. Get all of that excess water off of there quickly. Now, you don't want to blow it along the ground, because you'll blow dirt and dust right back up onto the boat, which will cause streaks and some other problems. So the great thing about Poli Glow too is it's super user-friendly. So let's say in 6 months you have it out, you take it out of the water, and you notice a little stain on it, or there's a scratch or something. All you do is you take a little poly strip, spray it in with an old rag, wipe a few layers off, or even if you take it all the way down, no big deal. You go in, you apply Poli Glow to that area, and it's gonna blend in with the rest.
Yeah.
Doesn't leave seams. You know, you can't do that with wax, right?
Yeah.
You work with wax. But it will blend in beautifully, cover, and it's very user-friendly in terms of like fixing any issues you may have with it down the road.
Perfect. Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean? All right, let's get started here. Let's see. So we prepped our mitt, we sprayed it with water, we wrung it out. You don't want it to be saturated with water. And we're just gonna apply a few strips, maybe a half ounce of this stuff in here. You're gonna wring it out to evenly distribute the Poli Glow. And then you're just gonna start applying. You know what I mean? Application process is you put it on and you keep moving. If you miss a spot, don't worry, because after it dries, you're gonna come back to it and you're gonna just hit that spot. So once you hit a spot, just keep right on moving. Okay, go over it one time, don't go over it multiple times, because it can leave streaks that way. Another tip is when you're applying Poli Glow, if all of a sudden the mitt feels like it's dragging, or it feels like there's more friction, it's because you don't have enough Poli Glow on there. Or if it's really, really hot out, it's drying too quickly. So it's really important to check the surface temperature. In really, really hot days in the middle of the summer, the surface temperature can be 100 degrees. You don't want to apply Poli Glow. The ideal temperature is like 65 to 90, 95 degrees. And if you feel any drag, it's either too hot out, it's drying too quickly, or you don't have enough Poli Glow on the mitt. When you apply, just apply it in one direction and keep going down. Don't go over it again.
Okay.
If you see a spot, don't worry about it. Let it dry. You're always going to hit it again.
Okay.
All right, guys, here's another tip. I just want to show you how easy it is to apply Poli Glow. This is a 19-foot boat. We've already got 7 coats on there. I'm just gonna show you how easy it is to apply a coat to one side. I put a little bit more Poli Glow onto the system here. Wring this out. And then we're just gonna go right at it. And this is just so easy. You just keep moving. Just keep moving. And you start with one edge here. This is all one coat. I've already done what's been 30 seconds. This is it. Now I'll get under the hull more. I still think there's Poli Glow on here, so I don't have to necessarily reapply. But that's it. Now I'll do a little bit more under the hull, but it doesn't take very long. People get excited about how many coats you need to apply, but it's a quick, easy process. Poli Glow family, we are back and we are now finished this project. Yeah. We've applied 12 coats of Poli Glow. And Kyle, tell me a little bit about your thoughts. You know, we went through the whole prepping phase. Right. Poly prep and poly ox. We did a little bit of sanding. And then we went through the application phase. And now we're coming to the end of it. What did you think about the overall process?
Super easy is the first thing that I think. You know, I think I had in mind, like, man, this is going to be a lot of work. I'm going to be sweating doing this. Yeah. And just messy. But honestly, it was as easy as cleaning the boat. The product that's the poly ox is super easy. Yeah. That takes off a lot of the oxidation, and then applying the Poli Glow is simple. Very simple. Goes faster than I anticipated. Yeah.
So there were some stains underneath of the boat. You know, you had it in some bracket water you were telling me about, and we hit it with poly prep. It didn't take off the staining, but then we hit it with poly ox.
Right. And that did the trick. Yeah.
It came right off.
And I think too, you have to realize that it sounds like a lot of coats and a lot of time with a dozen coats on a boat like this, but honestly, it goes so quick and dries quick.
It really does.
That the process is so much quicker than you anticipate.
Yeah, that's some of the feedback that we get is like, oh, holy cow, I got to put 10 coats on here. But I mean, even on a cooler day like today, it really wasn't onerous in terms of the amount of time it took. Now, we did have a couple extra guys, which helped out, but if you were solo, you know, you probably could have got this process done in 4 or 5 hours with a 19-foot boat.
Sure.
You know, no problem.
That's right.
Am I misspeaking?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we cut the time down just a little bit, but it's because we had one guy on one side and one on the other.
Yeah.
But it would not have doubled the time. I mean, 30 more seconds, she'd have been around the second side. So
that's right.
I was super impressed with how easy, how quick, and how.
What do you think about the gloss?
Unbelievable. I mean, it looks brand new.
Gloss that's boss, bitch.
Showroom ready.
All right. Well, we're happy to help you out today with Poli Glow. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in today. If you want your boat or RV to shine with a gloss that's boss, go to polyglow.com.